in the shooting after Mr. Spivey got back in the truck. Is that correct?
You said a what?
A lull, a brief time when
Yeah.
instead of bam, 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 there was silence and then there was more shots, right?
Yes, sir. He got back in his truck and I stopped shooting. I did reload my gun while he did get back in his truck, but I did not shoot back at him until we know that he shot back at us from his truck.
So he clearly shot back and that's when you shot again.
Yeah, a few more times, yes.
And of course, you're watching him, you're not watching Weldon to see what he's doing or what he's shooting or whatever.
I'm not paying attention to him.
All right. And when you made the statement that why couldn't you leave him alone, that was not a condemnation of what Weldon had done. It was just the thought that was in your mind that came out at the time.
That's not a fair question.
It's not.
No. A great example of a perfectly leading question.
Well, we've been doing a lot of leading here.
Yeah, well, that's about the worst one I heard. Or the best one I heard.
Best one.
Whichever
I
one
like
you
that
want,
better.
great.
I like that better. I like that.
In regards to Weldon, I said what I said at that moment, but I don't disagree with what Weldon did. I didn't see what he was doing wrong. He called the police to let them know that the man with the gun is acting crazy.
And he needed to.
He needed to be taken off the road. Yeah, he's a danger to everybody around him.
And you thought that even you, to some extent, had a social duty to try to get the police to get this guy off the road.
Yeah, that's what needed to happen. That's the whole point.
That's all the questions I have.
All right, same pattern did last. Mr. Tinsley.
So your testimony today is essentially that what you just said is that Scott Spivey was a danger to everybody, and you all recognized that immediately, right?
Yeah, he's got a gun.
That's right. You got a gun, and you say he pointed at you, but you didn't think it was enough of a threat in that moment to shoot him then, did you?
It just happened.
You did not shoot him at that point in time, did you?
I did not.
And after that, it wasn't pointed at you, was it?
It had pointed at us numerous times down Highway 9.
Well, you didn't get any photos of that, did you?
I did not.
Once he got in front of you, you agree, and you testified to this previously, once Scott Spivey's truck got in front of the truck in which you were riding, he was always in front of you.
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Yeah. And so, again, in terms of an imminent threat to you, in the moment when he points the gun, according to you, he went on by and you didn't shoot, right?
I did not shoot at him on Highway 9. That is correct.
So there was a lot that scared you that day, is what you said today, because this was a long encounter, right?
That was fairly long and fairly short at the same time, yes.
Well, and it went on for a fairly long time before you all finally decided, or Mr. Boyd called 911, right?
Well, at the beginning, after he had pointed the gun at me and he has got in front of us, there was multiple points where he was brake checking us. He ran us off the road.
Did you understand my question?
I must not have. Can you repeat it, please?
Yes. You all interacted with Scott Spivey for a long distance before 911 was called.
I don't believe it was that long, sir.
Okay. You heard the 911 call. Weldon Boyd told the dispatcher that you had your guns out too, at the very beginning of the call.
He did say that, but at no point did I ever pull my gun out of my bag or out of my holster. And as far as I know, I've never seen Weldon's gun.
And your testimony is that your bag with big zipper backpack, and then somewhere down inside of that was your gun in a holster.
That is correct, yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Martin asked you, did you do anything to encourage this? At no point did you tell Weldon to stop, did you?
There was nothing to tell him to stop doing.
That's right, because you were in full agreement with what he was doing.
Calling the police, yes.
Well, you were in full agreement with the way he was pursuing and the pursuit that you all made.
He called the police.
Go to 38. That's this. Thirty-seven, 17, 38, 3.
Weldon, from stopping before going to Camp Swamp Road?
No,
Were you in full agreement with the idea to pursue Scott Spivey?
to follow him, yes.
You didn't voice any objection because you didn't have one. Is that fair?
I didn't see anything wrong as far as what Weldon was doing. He was calling 911 and following direction.
There was nothing that kept Weldon from stopping before you all turned on the Camp Swamp Road, right?
Not,
There's nothing in this entire encounter with our 1,000 data points, it's about 1,000 points.
okay.
At any point in time, you all could have stopped because you had his license plate from jump, right? The very beginning.
Why should we have to stop?
Well, that's right, because y'all are heroes in chasing this bad guy down, right?
Right?
Okay.
Why did he stop?
Well, I assume he stopped because of this mysterious white truck you all say he's engaged in, but the reality is that he was being chased by two people with their guns out.
No guns were out.
Right? Two people chased you with guns out for an extended period of time. You believe you have a right to defend yourself, don't you?
Can you repeat that one more time?
If two people with guns out chase you at more than 100 miles an hour for a significant length of time, be it 4.6 miles, 9 miles, 1 mile, you would have a right to defend yourself, would you not?
But that's not what happened.
But you agree with me that you would have.
I do not agree.
He's
with you.
answering the question. That's fine.
Sustain that objection.
Now, you said to Mr. Martin in the slow down part was that you were telling Weldon to slow down because you didn't want to be close to Scott Spivey's vehicle. And at that point, he was getting close to Scott's vehicle, correct?
That was also around the time when Spivey was tapping his brakes, yeah.
Yeah. It was right after the 113 mile an hour stretch, right?
I believe that would be before. I'm not sure. I really don't know.
That's Weldon was angry when Scott ran him into the median, wasn't he?
Who's happy to be ran off the road?
So the answer is yes, as you testified under oath previously, correct?
Yeah, who wouldn't be mad?
Okay. And you agree that Weldon exceeded the speed limit after that point in time?
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Now, you and Weldon used Messenger to communicate, correct?
Yes.
And you saw Mr. Boyd testify in his deposition that he did not tell you to delete any Facebook messages, right?
I didn't see that.
You were sitting at the table.
I was about to fall asleep.
Okay. He did ask you to delete Facebook messages, right?
He did.
And based on his instruction, you did that, correct?
I did.
Now, go to audio 7. $851, 36.
With 911, I wrote over to Bradley, and Bradley he had this look on his face, And he was just staring. I said, Bradley? And he didn't look at me. I said, Bradley. And he looked at me. I said, check yourself. And he checked his stomach and everything. I said, you good? He was like, yeah, I'm good. And I said, you did good. And he just kind of stared at me. And then he just kind of looked back at the truck.
Well, Bradley's never been in a firefight, so.
Well, he fucking did amazing. And I sent him a message last night and told him that. I said, you got in the fight, you stayed in the fight, you didn't ask questions, and you didn't hesitate. I said, you're a fucking warrior. And he did. He got right in that fight, and he fucking fought it out. And he did not stop until it was over.
He sent you a number of messages about what happened that night on Messenger, didn't he?
No,
He sent you that one, didn't he? What he's talking about there, he sent you
well, there was brief communication from a few days after, but there was nothing in there what I considered important, or nothing I was hiding from the police or anything like that.
Okay, I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
How about do this? How about first pull up the text? So you saw me do this yesterday when we pulled up all the texts that were downloaded.
Sure.
And what we can do here is we can put your phone number in there
Mhm.
and find all the texts that were sent to you. And this is all the texts that are on this phone from September the 9th till the phones were collected by Mr. Moss on, I think, September the 13th, right?
I'm not sure. I handed mine to
You don't have any
Robert.
reason to dispute that.
I handed mine to Robert Ely.
That's your phone number, 1843, that one right there that's highlighted?
Yes, sir.
All right. And that 9078, that's the code to the gate at the farm, correct?
I believe so, yes.
He sent that to you at what time?
1451.
Okay. That's about what time you said you got to the farm, right?
Sure, I'm not sure.
And that's the only text message that's on those phones from Mr. Boyd to you, assuming that when we do control F, it finds yours. You have any reason to dispute that?
No,
Nothing in that about you being a fucking warrior and getting in the fight and staying in the fight, is there?
no, sir.
You all talked about on Messenger the bullet holes, because you were very concerned about the bullet holes, weren't you? In the back of Mr. Spivey's truck.
No, I was just examining what we saw.
In the Messenger chat, correct?
That was in Messenger.
For the 48, all the other 48? 91?
If that's a shot, that's why I texted you and said, this was him shooting at us.
That was in Messenger where you're all talking about it, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. I won't play all the other 73. And for the record, that call that you just heard was September the 12th at 7:51 PM.
And the only reason we had the roller with us was because we were going to put a different trigger in it that night. The lap.
Now, he's telling you right here why it is and what you're supposed to be saying to the police, correct?
I don't know what this is.
Well, play the whole call.
Yeah, play it.
Hey, a couple of things. Go back on Facebook and just delete our chat again between you and I. And then, if they ask, me and you just talk through the JR, me, you and chat, or we text or call each other. Second thing is the upper and lower were separated, and the only reason we had the lower with us was because we were going to put a different trigger in it that night. The last thing is, the family's furious that they didn't seize their phones. So Ken's trying to work it out. The superiors are saying, well, we're going to need to do a data dump. And Ken's telling them that they're not privy to a data dump. So there's a war over the phones right now. What Ken's trying to work out is, because the family's saying that there's pictures we withheld from the investigation, which is a lie. So Ken's trying to arrange it where the detective can we hand our phone to the detective, he can look through and check, make sure all the pictures that we got are the ones that he was given to, which they were. But Ken's gonna fight them on this data dump shit, because our internet search history, our banking information, all that other crap is none of their business.
Yeah, okay, so as far as the pictures, they have the pictures they can use of it.
Yeah, there's a few that they don't have, but I explained to Ken this because it's the truck 100 yards ahead of us in blurry. It's not relevant. There's nothing, but
After the incident.
yes, they got the picture where he slumped over. Ken had all that.
Okay, so I ain't gonna worry about deleting those.
No, you don't. I don't delete any pictures. I mean, and we provided what were relevant. If they say, well, we wanted the picture of the truck 100 yards up the road also, okay, well, there it is. I didn't delete it.
Okay. But just delete the Facebook comment.
And then just say that that we were going to put a trigger in the lower, and that upper was there. We just had the can on it. I mean, it was separated. That gun had not been assembled. Because you can have a lower and an upper ready to go with the intention of filing for a Form 1 and not assembling, right?
Yeah, it's really attempt to manufacture.
Yeah.
That's let's be honest, it's configuration because it was not together. But they're right beside each other. I mean, they're in the same department, same place.
Yeah, we'll be able to fight that off. Then the family was furious about, some of the cops were even confused that we had flashbangs, and that was a crime. And the detective was told those are not real flashbangs; those are airsoft fireworks. Yeah.
They're labeled that way.
So this is the family. The family is doing all they can, and
All I gotta say is we play airsoft.
yeah, we got airsoft guns.
How we do?
So, and Kim even said that Alan's getting sick of this now. So
Who's out?
that's the detective.
That's the main guy we talk to.
Yeah, Ken said he's getting sick of this shit. He's ready to close it out. So
Now, who actually closes it out?
Jimmy Richardson.
Okay. All right.
So just delete that one thing, and then we'll let you know what to do.
All right.
And you did, right?
I deleted the Facebook account.
And you knew that the family wanted those phones, were trying to get this information, because he told you that, correct?
He just said delete the Facebook convo because he didn't want the information that he sent prior, before this incident, he didn't want any of that leaked out.
I think we all heard the conversation. Let go to audio 48, 111, 6 through 112, 10.
this witness did show up this morning, and that witness is completely against us. Yeah, and Ken did bring that to my attention. I didn't tell you about it because he said give it a couple hours because the tech's gonna look into it. And the guy called Ken back later this afternoon and told Ken she's pretty much saying that the guy had a gun in his hand and was hollering at him to leave him alone, and they just started shooting and gunning him down. But he said, well, what she's saying makes no sense because you've got 5 other witnesses that tell a completely different story, and hers just comes out of nowhere, out of the woodworks, and she can't even, I don't think she could even, like, specifically explain where she was at the time, whether she was passing by on 9, so they disregarded it. It'll go in the report, but it doesn't match the other 5, so it's not relevant. It's not plausible.
When he told you that there was a witness that said that Scott Spivey got out of his truck, was yelling at you, and then you all opened fire on him, your response was, oh God. Right? Not, it didn't happen.
That was just a sarcastic remark.
Okay. And then your next concern was whether or not that information was going to make it into the report.
I was just curious. I don't want to hide any of this works.
You were relying on Weldon through the police to handle this, right?
Well, Weldon would call me, I'll answer the phone, and we would chat.
You know that if this had happened somewhere else in a different agency, it would have been a different result, don't you?
Object.
I'm sorry.
Obviously, he can't know that.
Well, hold on just a second now. I'm sorry, I didn't hear his answer.
Hey, listen, I don't think that's a fair question to him. He's a mechanic.
Yes. Give me 1 second. Go to 108, 17 through 109, 55.
A lot of my friends worked for us. We definitely did. Because had this been reversed, had we been in Brunswick County, had we been in his county where he lives, this would have been over. So,
You do believe so? Been different, right?
It's difficult regardless.
That was September the 12th, 2023 at 7:51 p.m. And you didn't think anybody was listening, right?
I had no idea it was being recorded.
Yeah, that's right. Once you go to the 901 call, please. 6 on 1 through 7 on 7.
Dude, I don't know. All right, so he's coming onto Camp Swamp Road. Camp Swamp Road. He's stopping. He's stopping. Hey, we're about to have a fucking shootout, dude. This dude's got a gun. He's got a fucking gun. We're at, hey,
Run back up.
I can't put it in gear.
Put it.
pause was after a whole bunch of shots, right?
Yes, you talk, when you could hear my gun moving around?
The click,
Yeah.
you or him, one was out at that point,
I
right?
I ran out.
And in that moment, the first thing you said was, why couldn't you leave him alone? That's what you said, right?
No, that was after.
Immediately after the shooting. First,
Immediately after shoot. I've already explained that with Mark.
you knew Weldon put you in this position, didn't you?
I did not want what had just happened to have happened.
Mr.
That's
Williams,
what I'm trying to, I'm yelling at him to back up.
I asked you about whether or not he made that statement to you during your deposition, and you told me you didn't think he did, right?
I haven't listened to it. I didn't, at the time, I did not remember saying that. And then to this day, I don't remember saying it. But I'm well aware that I did.
And you didn't remember him telling you, when I took your deposition, that he had a fucking blast.
No, I didn't know there was any phone calls recorded until after my deposition. Or I didn't go and listen to them until after the deposition.
Well, I understand you didn't know when you testified under oath that there were phone calls. That was not my question. I asked you, did he tell you he had a fucking blast? And then did y'all joke about getting teardrop tattoos? And you said you didn't recall.
Yeah, I mean, it's not uncommon for us to make dark jokes or sarcastic remarks.
But you did agree that it would have been so shocking that if he had uttered those words, you would have recalled, right?
I don't remember. But on face value, that does sound terrible. It does.
I'm happy to play you saying those words. You don't disagree that when I asked you under oath, you told me you didn't remember it. And if he had said it, it would have been shocking and you would have remembered it, right?
And that is true.
Okay. You've been watching while this trial's been going on, correct?
Yeah, here and there.
So this is the sketch that Detective Tomasi drew on. If it's not in evidence.
It's a page number out of her report.
Well, how about this? I'm just gonna mark it as the next plaintiff's exhibit, so we have this because Mr. Boyd marked on it yesterday.
That's fine, because there's an unmarked copy in her report.
Okay, so I'm gonna mark this one as 23.
And I think there may be a 11 by 17 copy of it somewhere, that's bigger.
Now, you told me in your deposition that when Scott was standing at his door, based on where you were sitting, you couldn't see him, his body was obscured, right?
I believe I want to say he stepped wide or stepped over the yellow line.
We're gonna get to that, but you agree with me, when he's right there in the door, you can't see, because it's a jacked up truck, and your angle is such that what you said was, you can't see him until he steps into the oncoming lane.
I don't believe I said that.
Okay. Well, let's do it. Page 31. Page 30. You got the-
Out of the vehicle at that point?
Yes.
And is he advancing, to use Weldon's word?
At that point, he has already grabbed the gun and aimed it at us when I was yelling at Weldon to back up, back up.
Okay. So when that happens, Is he, like Weldon said, at the back of the truck?
I can't say he made it all the way to the back of the truck, but I can say that he advanced from the door, but I can't remember if he made it to the end of the truck like Weldon said. Cause I can't see him, his full body.
That's my next question. Does he ever come far enough towards you, away from his door, where you can see his full body?
When he stepped out into the oncoming lane, I could see his whole body.
Okay. So when does that happen?
After he steps out of the truck, he steps out of the truck with a gun in his hand. He starts mouthing off. He, we don't know what he's saying. He racks the slide, over exaggerated, a rack of the slide. He brings it forward, he points, and he shoots. But as he's mouthing off, when he gets out of the truck, he does a sidestep into the oncoming lane and then advances back towards us.
Okay. And he's in the oncoming lane when he's doing that?
Yes, but that's when he's mouthing off. And then that's when he does a rack and slide, and then when he comes back to point back at us, he's making his way back towards the edge of his truck.
You didn't know about Frank McMurray when you said that, did you?
No, I never saw Frank Murray.
That's right. But you agree with me that all that in the oncoming lane can't happen if there's a truck driving in that oncoming lane. can it?
Object to the form of the question, misstates the facts in the record. Murrah said he is driven by, and there's 75 yards between the vehicles.
I heard the testimony. Rephrase your question.
I think the court understands the point. Mr. Williams, at no time did you tell Weldon Boyd to stop.
No, it did not.
At no time did you tell him not to turn onto Camp Swamp Road when you saw him stopping, Scott Spivey stopping on Camp Swamp Road.
I never told Weldon to stop.
Okay. No time when you get to the apron, the beginning of Camp Swamp Road where it meets 9, you don't dispute that you could see the truck clearly, at least before you make the turn, right?
I didn't see his truck until we came up to Camp Swamp as we're making that turn.
And at that point, you don't tell Weldon to stop.
Right?
You never tell Weldon, let me out of the truck.
I'm not getting out of that truck when a man's outside of the truck with a gun.
Before that.
Before what? I'm sorry,
You didn't-
rephrase the question. I'm
You
sorry.
never told him at any point in time, stop. I don't want to be in this scary situation that's now gone on for miles. Let me out.
Well, after the initial problems we had with Spivey, once him and the other white truck were engaged with each other, we were further back. At that point, I'm sitting here thinking we're about to see an episode of Cops. That's what we wanted. We wanted the police to come get Spivey off the road.
So you all were going to chase him till the police got there
We followed him while on the phone with 911.
in excess of the speed limit.
I don't know how fast we were going.
But you agree, you've testified in excess of the speed limit.
I'm sure we were, yeah.
That's all the questions I have.
Mark.
Quick, oh, yeah, Mr. Moles,
Mark.
quickly. The
Sure. Mark, will stay right there. Yes, for Douglas. Yes. Hang it. He's got none. You're up.
last couple of questions that Mr. Tinsley asked you. By the time you saw that Scott Spivey's truck wasn't stopping, the brakes were on, it was stopping or it stopped, you guys had already turned into Camp Swamp Road and could not stop without getting off number 9, could you?
As soon as I seen Spivey's truck is when we were already in the process of making the turn onto Camp Swamp Road.
All right. And he was stopping at that time, but you didn't see that he had stopped before you guys ever got to Camp Swamp Road, did you?
That is correct.
That's all I have.
All right, you may step down. All right, good time for a break and then we'll.
One live witness will be very short. One live witness will be very short.
Can we take this short break?
Yeah, let's take 15, we'll come back straight up noon.